stay fly.
What's good, everybody? What's good, my Mouthin Out family? I am your host, Adrian Nyce. This is the newest episode. Today, we are at the Charlotte Podcast Studio, and today I am here with...
Bry Luther King, baby.
In the building.
Oh, yeah.
Bry Luther King. Where does this name come from? Because you know immediately when I hear it, I think of Martin Luther King.
Exactly. That was really like one of the things, but originally I was going to go with Bry King.
Bry King.
And a lot of people don't know my grandfather's middle name was Luther. So I said, you know what, let me implement that in there. And then on top of that, I wanted a name that people can recognize. You know what I'm saying? So when they see Bry Luther King, they like, who's this guy? And like you said, Martin Luther,
Automatically, yeah.
You know, you resonate with that. So
That's a fact.
yeah.
Is Bry, does that come from Brian or?
Yeah, so it come from my first name.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Bet. Nah, that's dope. That's what we were talking about earlier. We was like, dang, you know, this sounds familiarity,
Yeah.
all that type stuff. Strategic
Stick
thinking.
out, yeah, for sure.
Right. And so where were you born and raised? Where are you from?
So I'm originally from South Florida, West Palm Beach, 561 stand up.
Okay.
So, but I've been living in Atlanta now most of my life.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But I always spent a lot of time in South Florida. Shoot, we was down there last weekend turning up. But yeah, originally from South Florida, lived in the metro Atlanta area for most of my life now.
When did you move to Atlanta?
06.
And was it like because of family or did you move by yourself or like what?
Nah, so I was middle school transitioning over to high school. But at the time, the cost of living in South Florida was on the rise. And then on top of that, that was that time where hurricanes were just coming through.
See?
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a drive-through movie or something. You know what I'm saying? They were just pulling up.
Shutting everything
So
down.
yeah, and that always drives the cost of living higher. So metro Atlanta area was a lot cheaper.
Right, I bet.
Yeah.
And so you've been living there ever since.
Yep.
What's like the biggest differences you see between South Florida and Atlanta?
Really, beach. The beach is the biggest thing, and then like I said, the cost of living. But Georgia weather can get unpredictable at times.
In the same day, it might rain, it might be sunny, it might
You never know what you're
thunderstorm.
gonna get, man. Especially in the wintertime. You don't know if it's gonna snow.
Right.
And if it's snow in Atlanta, it's shutting the city down.
Shutting
for
the
sure.
city down. Yeah, that's a fact.
Most definitely.
That's the South for you, goddamn.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about the music scene in Atlanta. We all know Atlanta's a big music hub, but since you actually like live in it, kind of just talk about, you know, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think it's changed, it evolved. You know, if I think back, music scene, for me, that was a huge highlight. Was back in like 2016, and I don't know if you ever heard of Edgewood Ave, but Edgewood Ave used to be a strip of bars. Well, it still is,
Right?
But it's a strip of bars, and there used to be some jumping spots there that we used to perform at like every single week. One specifically would be Department Store. We was in there every week. You know what I'm saying? Performing Tuesday nights. We were probably pulling up Saturday nights, Friday nights.
faithfully.
So, yeah, for real. And you used to see people come through there a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like Jeezy, you know what I mean? Artists like that'll definitely slide. I seen Andre 3K in there before. So it was a jumping spot. That's actually where I met my wife.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. But yeah, that was that 2016, 2017, you know, and it's funny because I was just on Edgewood Ave a couple nights ago, and I can feel the difference.
Are they not doing like performances and stuff like that anymore? Or you feel like it's just a different generation now?
I think it's a mix of both, but Department Store specifically, it got shut down. So right now I think it's a record store.
Interesting.
You know, it used to be a
Where they
popping
sell like
spot.
vinyls and stuff?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly. But fast forward to now, it's different. It's definitely music scene different, and what I've been trying to do with Black Diamond Music is create a platform for other artists. You know, we threw a showcase back in April. It was hosted by Fabo,
Yes, sir.
And it was yeah, it was lit.
And so Black Diamond Music is your label, right?
Yeah,
That you
indie
created.
label. Correct.
You're the CEO of it. Where'd the name come from?
So the name came from, I wanted something that was going to resonate with the black community and minority for the most part. And when I think of a black diamond, it's something that's rare. So that's really how the concept came. You know what I'm saying? Black diamond's rare. What we're trying to do with the music is rare, and we're trying to create platforms for other up and coming artists.
Right.
So that's really what it.
Is it so? Are you signed to your own label, or are you just kind of on the business side of your label?
Yeah. So technically, I'm signed because I'm an artist as well. But yeah, and we got shout out Timmy Fourway, shout out Snook Nasty, man. He been rocking Black Diamond since day one. VP. Shout out King Brendan. That's actually my youngest brother.
Okay, y'all got VPs. Okay.
Yeah. So shout out to the whole team, man.
And so, so when you first started it, like, did everybody just kind of, we're behind this idea, we want to get on board, or did you kind of have to go through and be like, hey man, this is what I'm doing, are you with it, or are you not, type of thing?
So when I think back to when it first started, it was around 2017, and it was slightly different. You know, we had a VP that no longer with Black Diamond. You know how that goes.
Yeah, right.
You know, and then to be honest, Black Diamond kind of took a break for a few years as well.
Gotcha.
And we kind of kicked back the top of this year. So it was something that when we started getting back into it, like everybody was on board. And we kicked it off with the compilation album, which we started fourth quarter last year. We started getting that going.
Which we are going to get into.
Yeah.
I want to just go back to growing up. So what was it like growing up in your household?
Single mother, raising 2 kids by herself.
2 kids?
Yeah.
Sister or brother?
Brother.
Brother?
Yeah.
Older? Younger?
Older by 11 months.
11 months.
Yeah, 11 months and a few days.
Dang.
Yeah, so we were tight.
I was about to say, y'all virtually experienced everything together.
And then I have a younger brother. We got the same father, different mothers.
Got you.
But yeah, growing up, single mother, you know, Section 8, and just trying to make things happen for our kids for the most part.
And so, music-wise, your brother, was he doing music at all? Or how were you kind of introduced to music? Was it through him, or was your mom playing music in the house, or was it through friends?
So my mother was into music. She was in band back in school. She played more so like xylophone, keyboard, more so on that side.
Right.
My father was on the production side. So he was kind of making beats back in the day, you know what I'm saying? And I think one of them kind of took off.
That's tight.
But fast forward, what really inspired me to really start working and grinding is my big cousin Nardo. Shout out to Nardo. He down in South Florida. When I seen him back in the MySpace days, he had one of them artist pages, MySpace artist pages.
Yes.
He had the photos. He had the music.
It was
I'm
all
like,
set up.
man, yeah, and I'm young. I'm probably like 12, 13 at this time. And I'm like, yo, like this look official. Like he doing it.
MySpace. Woo!
MySpace.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, like, and I kind of looked at it like, dang, I want to be like that.
Right.
And then a couple years later, when I did move to Georgia, one of the homies, Snook Nasty, he was doing music. He had the whole setup at the crib. You know what I'm saying, in the closet. You know how you
Right.
turn,
Yeah.
you know, you turn that closet into to a studio, and he was using Audacity. I don't know if
I
y'all
remember
familiar.
Audacity. Yeah, that's like,
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I want a piece of that. You know what I'm
Free,
saying? Like,
you know?
yeah. So I would think for when it came to music, the 2 biggest influences outside of parents would be Nardo and Snook Nasty.
Do you remember the first song you recorded?
Oh yeah, it's still on YouTube.
Can you give us a couple of bars, like 8 bars, 6 bars,
Man.
regardless of how corny the bars are,
Yeah,
etc.?
it was called my first song. I think was either Swag is Official or In the Zone, but Swag is Official is on YouTube. It was like I signed on a dotted line, my initials, just to let you know that my swag is official. And we were back in high school. We had the the shirts that said "Swag is official," and it had like the
That
little
Brandon.
yeah, it had the little rhinestones in the shirts, and then on the back it had our handles, social handles,
That's fire.
and our names. So yeah, we used to rock that in high school. We thought we was the shit back then.
I mean,
boy.
that's how you gotta. That's how you gotta do. You gotta rock
Sure.
it. You know, no other thing matters. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
For
Okay,
sure.
so this is what we're gonna do. Have you ever heard of an elevator pitch? And if not, it's okay. I'll explain it.
Yeah, I heard of it.
Okay. All right. So basically, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna paint this scenario. Okay. And within this scenario, I'm gonna have you pitch yourself to these record label executives on why they should sign you, do business with you, your label, et cetera, et cetera. And you got 1 minute to do so.
Cool.
Okay. All
Let's try it out.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Here's the scenario. All right, we're in this big corporate building, right? Big corporate building. It's a skyscraper, tall, official looking. So we go in, we get on this elevator. We're at the top floor. We get on this elevator. Who's on this elevator? I'm on this elevator. You're on this elevator.
Okay.
We got Rock Nation executives on this elevator. Bad Boy. We got OVO, Epic. The who's who is on this elevator. Snap of a finger, they can change your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
for sure.
So now on the way down, we're gonna have you pitch yourself to them on why they should do business with you, sign you, et cetera, et cetera. And you got 1 minute. Ready? And go.
Yo, what's good, man? Brian Luther King, South Florida, live in Atlanta. You know, it's up from there. But I want to talk about what I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? I've been grinding. I've been outside for real. I'm using my own money, creating my own platforms, releasing my own music, putting money behind my own videos, flying to different cities with my own money, man.
Self-made.
So self-made for sure. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm grinding. I appreciate y'all time, and I feel like I'm next up. Let's do it.
Cool. And then we get the information.
Yeah,
And then we
all that.
follow up for the meetings
All that.
and all that.
Yeah.
So just in case, say we clip this or whatever, and, say some executive or somebody comes across this clip and they want to reach out to you, how can they reach out to you?
Yeah, so you can reach me at Bry Luther King, BRY, Luther King, on all social medias.
Yes. Bry Luther King on all social medias.
Yeah.
Definitely don't hesitate to reach out. Go ahead.
And if you want to email me, you can email me
Yeah.
at brylutherking@gmail.com. I check my emails every day, sometimes twice a day.
Okay. So let's talk about your music. How would you describe your sound?
Versatile. Versatility is there. You know what I'm saying? I can really go down any avenue, and I have. When it came to hip hop, when it came to trying to do a little dance hall, pop, R&B, versatility for sure.
Who are some musical influences of yours growing up?
Luda,
Luda.
Jeezy,
Jeezy. Okay.
Trick Daddy. You know, gotta throw South Florida in there. That's just a few, to name a few. T.I. for sure. Wayne. I can keep going, really. But Luda, when it came to the music aspect and really making somebody feel what he's saying
Got the
with the
punchlines.
emphasis,
Yeah.
like that really like motivated me. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that when I do say something, make them feel it.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
So you said you still go back to South Florida,
Yeah.
right? So how do you, when it comes to like your audience, like how do you go about, I don't want to say catering, but like balancing your audience, because you got the South Florida audience, you got the Atlanta audience, two different styles or just two different people. you know?
Yeah, for sure. But I look at it as the South in general.
Okay.
Even when I look at the Carolinas, Virginia,
Right.
Alabama, like I feel like when I do it for the South.
The South. Okay.
For sure. But with that versatility, being able to know when to pivot and adjust plays a part in some of the music. I feel like I got a song that Florida might resonate with more than Atlanta,
Right.
and vice versa. So I think it's just all in the music and the versatility.
Big facts.
Yeah.
So do you rap? Do you sing? Is it melodic? How would you describe like?
All that.
That's what you mean by
All that.
versatile.
Yeah.
Okay.
All that. I can spit something. I can really, hit something like a little something similar to Lil Baby, but try to put a little bit more singing into it. I can really put me in the studio, man. Ain't no telling what y'all gonna get for sure.
Nowadays, because back in the day, you kind of had to have like one sound, or you had to be different in a certain way. Everybody had to have a different sound, et cetera, et cetera. Do you feel like today, like it's better to be versatile, have different sounds, versus like having one sound, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, I think it's good to be versatile. The reason why I say that is a lot of artists, even some of the mainstream artists, you start getting sick of them coming on the song the same way. And I think a good person to really look up to when it comes to versatility is Drake.
For sure.
Think about Drake, his longevity.
He done switched it up so many
Yeah,
times.
exactly. Like
So many times.
You know what I mean? He can do something on a Latin beat, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He can do reggae, he can do R&B, pop, everything. And I think that's the key to longevity
It's all
in the
a
game.
hit.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a fact.
So
Are you
that's
tryna-
how I see it.
Are you trying to be doing music for a long period of time, or do you eventually want to do something else?
I see myself in the music industry for a long
Got you.
time. I think ultimately what I want to do is, of course, you really want to get your foot in the door. I really
sure.
enjoy recording music, but I feel like when I get to a certain age, I may want to look at just being somebody's mentor,
Right.
or just focus on the songwriting side.
Right.
I've always seen long term. I didn't want to be that guy that 10 years, 15 years from now, I can't be able to walk in the mall. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to enjoy life.
Oh, so you don't want that?
Yeah, nah, I don't want that.
You get you a couple of security guards. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I feel like that's cool,
Yeah.
at first, but I feel
get
like
what you're saying.
knowing me long term, I just want
Ain't tryna
to
be
enjoy.
like
I want the money.
Kanye knocking
Yeah.
out.
I still want to be
photographers.
there. I still want to, you know what I'm saying? But I want to be able to live my life freely
Gotcha.
and not worried about things. So that's how I view it.
All right. So what we about to do? We're about to get into this segment called "What the hell is going on?"
Okay. I like that.
What the hell is going on?
All right.
All right. So first, we're gonna talk about Kodak and 6ix9ine.
Okay.
So recently, Kodak, as the world knows, did a track with 6ix9ine, released a video.
Mm-hmm.
If you were Kodak, would you do a track with 6ix9ine? Is there anything wrong with that, or how do you feel about it?
Ooh, this is setup. This is setup. Nah. If I was Kodak, would I have done a song with 6ix9ine knowing who Kodak Black is?
Yes, you're Kodak. You have your legacy. You have the same status, et cetera, et cetera. And 6ix9ine, he's been through his controversy. He's still done whatever he's done, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, so if you want me to be honest, if I was Kodak, I wouldn't have done it.
You wouldn't?
But
Okay.
I understand why he did it.
Why do you feel like he did it?
We really don't know what a lot of rappers have going on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? When you think about some of these artists, of course, they want you to see the good side.
Okay.
But we don't know what's really going on the backside. So
Right.
it could be a case to where he really needed the money.
I was about to say he needed that bag.
Yeah, I mean, and from what I hear,
6ix9ine
it's a
got
big
that
bag.
Yeah,
It was a big
6ix9ine
bag.
got that bag.
Yeah, so, I understand why he did it, but if I was Kodak, knowing what I know, I probably wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, because now we got he has Boosie kind of on his
Mm-hmm.
ass, just like, antagonizing him about the whole thing, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, you got to take the good with the bad for sure.
Do you feel like this is the start of 6ix9ine's like comeback?
I think 6ix9ine already came back.
Okay, elaborate.
And what I mean by that is maybe his comeback more so to hip hop, but
Right.
6ix9ine still been doing this, thing on the Latin side.
That is true. That is
And
very
I
true.
feel like he has an audience there for sure. But maybe I don't know if it's gonna be a return for the hip hop, but I do feel like he got the Latin community down pat. He got a lot of load of fans
No, yeah,
that's
for
rocking
sure.
with him despite the situations he's been through.
So even if he doesn't make a comeback in hip hop, he's still gonna be good.
Facts.
Okay. Do you see? Should we treat 6ix9ine situation the same as Gunna's situation?
That's a good question. To be honest, I can't really speak on that.
Come on, Atlanta.
The reason why is like I think I don't really know the real details behind the Gunna situation.
That's true too.
And I hate to put my foot in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really say what really happened. I hear different things, but I don't know what's true.
So let me ask you this: do you like Gunna's music?
I think Gunna makes pretty good music.
Did you hear his last album or any songs?
I heard
from
some of it.
Okay.
Fuck You Mean? Yeah, I heard that one.
So let's just say, okay, he's classified as a snitch. That's how the world sees him. Do you think his music, do you think he can out-rap that stigma? Or do you think that'll always... Because, I've been paying attention and people just be like, I still fucks with his music. I don't care what he did.
Fuck with it. Yeah,
you know,
you gotta...
Because this shit's going.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's doing numbers.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, a lot of people follow the crowd when the snitching thing. A lot of people didn't really grow up like that. They just going off of what other people say and
big facts
and what the industry standard may be. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people gonna still ride. I feel like we in an era nowadays to where, although people say they're snitching, it's old generation versus new generation. I think a lot of people in the new generation don't really care about that. It's really the OGs.
When they see somebody else doing it, they just...
Exactly, yeah. So I think with Gunna, I think he's going to be all right.
Think you're going to be all right?
6ix9ine's all right.
That's a fact, man.
You know what I'm saying?
He's still doing his thing.
It's really no telling, man. One day it may be a bigger issue than the next day, but I feel like right now I think Gunna's numbers reflect.
Yeah.
I mean, and think about it, like, that's what people gonna listen to what he got to say after the allegations. That's gonna run the numbers up. You know what I'm saying? So I guess this could be a double-edged sword.
Taking advantage. I mean, as long as Thug is trending about the court situation, I feel like
shout out
Thug
Thug.
is always going to be in talks.
Yeah, and if Thug's still behind him, shit, that say a lot. I'm not sure if Thug is still behind him, but
okay. So he did, this isn't really anything, but he did unfollow him.
Okay.
And Thug did put out an album or whatever you want to call it, and Gunna wasn't on it. Does that mean he's not fucking with him? Does that mean it's just is what it is, or what?
That's a good question. I think only Thug can answer that. For sure. Only Thug can answer that one. But I guess we're gonna see how things unfold.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the tracks that you have out. Who are some artists that you've worked with in the Atlanta scene?
Fabo, shout out to Atlanta legend Fabo from D4L. Shout out Cap G. Shout out Schoolie Skate.
Yes, sir. Street execs.
Yeah, street execs. True. Just to name a few.
So let's go track by track. So the track that you have with Fabo, what's the name of it? And kind of just break down what the song is. We'll start off with what the song is and how, what it's about.
So the song is called 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Shout out to Snook Nasty. It was his song. He came up with the concept back in 2015.
Woo.
It's crazy. That's the song that we used to have jumping on Edgewood. But it was me, Snook, me, and a guy by the name of Barris Ford. We were all on the song. We all performed it. We probably performed that song like 1,000 times.
Really?
No exaggeration.
Dang.
And fast forward to 2023, when we kind of got back on the scene. During that showcase that we had back in April, we performed the song. Fabo was there. We got him to host. Fabo was rocking with the record. So a few weeks later, I hit him up like, "Yo, you wanna hop on it? Like, what's good?" And he was rocking with it. He sent the verse to us, and we actually got a performance video. It's like a mix of like 3 or 4 different performances that we're probably gonna release soon. But the concept of 2 a.m. is like, hey, it's 2 in the morning, we still lit. You know what I'm saying? We still turning up. Like, wake up. If y'all sleeping, wake up.
Wake the
You know
fuck
what I'm saying?
There's still more time, goddamn.
You
We're
know what I'm
keep
saying?
going.
A lot goes down at 2 a.m.
Definitely. That's when the after hours comes about.
Yeah. So yeah, that was really the concept, and
Okay.
and Snook actually produced the beat as well.
Damn, that's fire.
Yeah. So dope ass record.
All
Still
right.
going. What? 8 years later.
Do you think you will continue to perform that?
Oh
Because
yeah.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. Because you see, I just see 2 Chainz. You know, he's still performing songs
Yeah.
from way back when. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and it's kind of like it kind of got to the point to where like it's kind of new to some people too, especially with the fresh verse from Fabo.
you always have new
with
fans.
his ad libs. Like you know, he got probably one of the most classic, legendary ad libs. You
For
know
sure.
what I'm saying? Especially on the Atlanta scene. So it's kind of like a new track, and it's still hitting new ears.
Facts.
So I think it can keep going. Hey, it might be the one that take off for real.
That's a fact. Let's talk about the next one. So let's talk about the Cap G track. What's the title of it? And let's kind of break down the concept.
So the title's Cuban Links. I'm on the hook of the song. I didn't do a verse on there. But this was during the time, this song was created this year. It was during the time that we started working on the Black Avenue, the album. And the concept was, okay, Cuban Links, swap out the whip, you know what I mean, every week. And some will really say that I was that guy. I was buying whips, selling them, trading them, whatever the case is. So that's kind of how the concept came. And then the Cuban Link part came from like really going to Cuba, having experienced that, and then having a Cuban Link. So that's kind of how the concept came.
How'd you get Cap on it?
So Cap wasn't originally on the song. And when I reached out to him, it was like, I think this would be like the song for him. Cuban Links with the beat. I feel like he'd snap and slide on it. And that's really how it came. And he said he'd do the video, and we had a party, and he was a special guest at our party. Nah, it was actually just kind of like a party. That party had Fabo pull up. He hosted again. Cap G, DJ Unk, Greg. You know Greg Street. He's one of the biggest radio DJs in Atlanta. Legend. He was there, and you know,
Whole vibe.
yeah, it was a whole vibe. It was cool.
And then you also got a song with Schoolie.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
One way.
One Way.
One way up.
Them views is crazy. Yeah, I just want y'all to know. Let's talk about the video first. So let's break down the video. What's in the video? What's the concept? So, et cetera. What can they expect to see when they go look at it?
Yeah, so One Way, dope video. Shout out BCP Brandon. He shot the video, and man, he worked with a lot of people. But the concept was really, as you can see when you first go in the video, I'm walking in doing like a photo shoot.
Yep.
Pretty cool vibe. And then we did like this outdoor scene with the C8 Corvette. And it was really more so like a vibe type of deal. We rented a spot in Atlanta, downtown area, and we wanted to implement that C8 in there somewhere.
Hell yeah.
So it came out pretty dope.
Now, go ahead.
But the concept of the song itself, One Way, is like, if you listen to the hook, I don't say one way at all. But the concept was, see me taking off, I got to catch this flight, and it's only one way. Up. So that was really the whole concept of the song, and Schoolie slid like a motherfucker on that song.
Was this song already done, or were you in the studio cooking with him at the same time?
So originally, I had this feeling about the song. It was originally just me on there. I did like a bridge where Schoolie part is.
Yeah.
I originally did like a little bridge there, and I kind of held on to the record. I wanted it to be on the album, but I felt like it was missing something. And when I thought of Schoolie, I was like, yo, this shit would be crazy.
Hell yeah.
Like, I mean, Atlanta legend for real. Rich
For
Kid
sure.
days. You know what I'm saying? I remember riding the Rich Kids albums. You know what I mean? Like, we hit the mall, ball all day type shit.
Right.
and to see him now, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's still doing his thing. He rocking out. Still lit.
And so you have the newest single. Is it Friends and Enemies?
Friends and Enemies.
Friends
yes,
and
sir.
Enemies. How long ago did that drop? How long have you been pushing it?
So it dropped about 2 weeks ago. Concept, You have friends, you have enemies, of
For
course. But I feel like a lot of people that say they're your friend may not really be your friend. Have ulterior motives.
That's a fact.
Leeches, snakes, all that. So, so the concept really was like friends and enemies. Like, if they became your enemy, even if it's 5 years from now, man, they was probably your enemy from the jump.
Damn.
You notice a lot of times with people that call themselves your friends, and you get into it, why all of a sudden they got this and that to say about you?
They've been holding on to that.
Exactly. They've been thinking about it for a long time.
Exactly.
So, you know what I mean? But when they get mad, that's when it
real.
finally come out.
That's real.
So really, that was like one of the biggest concepts. And BCP Brandon shot that video too. That just dropped last Friday.
The video just dropped.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all go
Fire,
check it
bro.
out. What's the name of the YouTube channel?
So it's gonna be Black Diamond Music ATL.
Black Diamond Music ATL.
Yeah.
What's next for you? So how long are we going to push this single till we drop something else?
Shit, I'm thinking about dropping something like in a week or two.
Okay.
It's an exclusive. I got a song called Atlanta Straight to Mars. Go crazy.
You know we love Mars.
Yeah, Atlanta Straight to Mars. We taking off.
F the moon. We going to the Mars. Goddamn.
We're gonna bypass that moon and we're gonna get straight to it.
Do you when you release a song, is there like a strategy to it, or sometimes do you just drop a drop?
A wise man once told me. Nah, I really got I got a couple people that's in the industry for real that give me advice. And one of the biggest pieces of advice was when you shoot a video or when you have a single, you do a lyric video. When you shoot that video, you need another cameraman to do behind the scenes. That's another video. You know what I'm saying? You got the actual video.
Right.
And then you can always follow up when you upload with the actual single. But I think that's really kind of the rollout that I try to aim for. It may not always be down to the T.
Yeah.
But in most cases, even if I'm doing like something like this, I would typically have a cameraman behind the scenes.
Right.
You know, at all times. Keep the camera rolling.
And you want to know something else about that, what you said? So you said we got the lyric video. I guess you got the song, and then you got the music video, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw like a visualizer in there.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
So all of those count like towards like getting like a plaque. Like you can, all those count towards, so like instead of just releasing one song, it's not just the song, it's all of those combined. Because I got a
social media crazy.
A guy, he put me up on game. He got a plaque from that. So like
that's dope.
That's news to all y'all out there releasing songs. You always want to do all what you just said.
Facts.
Consistently. So that's dope that you do that and everything. That's
You gotta
super
think outside the box sometimes, man. When you've been doing this for a minute,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta get out of the same cycles. Try something different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Just
a fact.
try it. I mean, it ain't gonna hurt to try. If it don't work, try something else.
Right.
It's that simple.
That simple. You're right.
For real.
Shows. We got any shows coming up?
Tonight we rocking out in Charlotte.
Yes.
We in Charlotte, North
Talk about
Carolina,
it.
baby. We rocking.
What are you expecting to give the crowd? Like, what are we giving them?
We giving them Friends and Enemies, and then that single that I was just telling you about that's unreleased, Atlanta Straight to Mars. I think I'm gonna rock it out, and I'm gonna take it for a spin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you do unreleased tracks, like, is the purpose of doing them just to kind of see how the crowd reacts, or okay?
Get the vibe. I actually did a live performance for it that's unreleased a few weeks back, and we're gonna release it when the single drop. But it was pretty cool doing a live performance. It's no crowd. It's for the cameras.
Right.
It was actually locked in with Full Circle. Shout out to them. They in Atlanta. But that was a whole vibe. Actually getting a feel for it. So I'm looking forward to doing it for a crowd tonight.
Have you ever thought about leaving Atlanta, or no?
Yeah. So going back to South Florida.
South Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like, but I love Atlanta.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But there's no place like home. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
I thought about LA before. Shout out to LA. I love visiting, but I'm to the point where I'm good on that. Traffic too crazy.
It's expensive
and
as hell.
expensive as hell.
And traffic is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
What about
think
New York? New York? No.
spent a lot of time in New York. My wife's from New York.
Okay.
From BX. Shout out BX. We get love out there, but
Okay.
nah.
Nah.
Visiting, yeah,
Visiting.
yeah. I can't. I
Been
hate
expensive a
driving
bit.
out there. I hate driving out in New York City. Oh my goodness,
Okay.
crazy.
So now we're about to get into this other segment called One Word. Okay. So basically, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say one word, and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind when I say this word.
Bet.
All right. All right. And the word could be a phrase, whatever. But okay. Black Diamond.
Lit.
Lit. Okay. Brian Luther King.
Brian Luther
Oh,
King.
Brian. I'm sorry.
Brian Luther King. Legendary.
Legendary.
That's what I see. Long term, legendary.
Okay. Music.
Love.
South Florida.
Home.
Atlanta.
Home.
Okay. Okay. Superstar.
Overrated.
Fame.
Cool.
Okay. What about money?
That's what we do it for.
What about family?
It's a lot of words that come through for family, man.
First thing that comes to mind when I say
Love,
family.
man.
Love.
Yeah.
I respect that. God.
Most high.
Okay, so now what we're about to do is I'm going to say a sentence, and then I want you to finish my sentence.
Okay.
Okay?
For sure.
If I was not doing music, I would be.
I was gonna be funny. I was about to say trapping, but I'm just playing. If I
Hey,
wasn't
music
doing
be saving lives, though.
I would
Keep it a
definitely be
buck.
businessman,
Businessman.
which I still am, but full throttle businessman,
If I was not a boss, I would be.
a manager.
Okay. If I had to choose any 9 to 5 job to work at, I would work at.
Shit, that's a good one. 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Shoot. Man, I'll probably run like some dealerships or something like that. You know, get that car money.
The car money. Okay. Is car money good?
I think it is.
Okay. If you know how to work.
If you know how to sell them, yeah.
Right.
But you'll probably get other people to sell them for you.
My family is the most important.
Asset. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like family's asset.
God has done.
Everything for me. Yeah. Everything.
Before I leave this earth, I want to.
Give back. And it don't even have to be financially. It can be time. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Move Makers. A few weeks ago, we were out in Atlanta handing out meals to the homeless.
That's dope.
Yeah, so we were really outside. So shout out B for putting that together. But we definitely
You got to
you know
give
what I'm
back.
saying? Got to. And you know what I'm saying? We ain't do it. You know, you don't see nothing
No
on
cameras.
our
or
page.
that-
Yeah. Which it's not a bad thing to
Right.
do. You know what I'm saying? We probably do that next time, but
But it's not like you're using it. You're taking advantage of
Exactly.
the situation. Like you
Exactly.
honestly want to give back to these people,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. It's not for
But yeah,
clickbait.
giving back, man. Continue to give back.
Okay. Man, any last words before we get out of here, bro?
Nah, man, just a few shout outs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out Black Diamond Music. Shout out Snook Nasty again, man. Nardo S. Real, Timmy Foway, King Brendan, Bernard, Luz. Man, shout out Move Makers. Man, shout out everybody. If I left you out, shout out DJ Young, Fabo, Schoolie, Cap G. Shout out Willis. But I can really keep going, man. If I left out anybody, you know what I'm saying, that wasn't my intent. But yeah, shout out everybody.
Before we go, I'm gonna do 2 things just because I feel like these will be good clickables. First thing, piece of advice. Can you give one piece of advice to just other up and coming artists just trying to make it?
Yeah, for sure. So the biggest piece of advice that I can really give to them is look at trends from a year ago, right? Look at how people got on. a year ago to now, it may be different, but you can still kind of use some of the same blueprint. Like we mentioned, as far as when it comes to videos, man, or anything you do, just make sure you have somebody there with the camera rolling.
Right.
There's one hidden jewel that I learned about from an OG as well. It's called Chart Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
Chart Matrix, you can really look at your numbers. That's what a lot of A&Rs are looking at. I think it's like free for 6 months.
Right.
You can plug in your information. You can link your Instagram, your YouTube to it, and you can see how you rank amongst the people in the U.S.
And we're not talking about no basic, Spotify numbers. Where
Exactly.
they give you the in
Everything.
depth.
Yeah,
They let
everything.
you know how many people talking about you on social media.
Yeah,
They give you all
everything.
that.
Yeah,
Right.
you get it all. So that's something I wish I would have known when I was really starting up. So really look at them numbers, man. Numbers is everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the biggest piece.
And then next, I just want you to just, in the briefest way possible, just give us something motivational right now.
Yeah, for sure. So don't give up. Like, that's really, it sounds simple, but it's really like, it can take you a long way. I'm trying to tell you, like, even some days I don't feel as motivated. You really got to find what motivates you.
fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it's therapeutic. And I hit the reset button when I'm on a beach on an island or something like that. That's really like therapy for me. And I can really sit there with a drink in my hand. I got to put that out there. With a drink in my hand with that breeze blowing and really think about things and process things and hit
Right.
that reset button. You got to find, that's my biggest advice, find your reset button.
Right. You'll burn out.
Yeah, for sure. And just keep going. Even if people down you, say you can't do it, prove them wrong. Motivate. Find motivation. So that's really my biggest pieces.
Brian Luther King, everybody.
For sure.
Thank you for joining me. Social media one more time and just spell it.
Yeah, Brian Luther King, BRYLUTHERKING.
Thanking for joining
Yes,
me.
sir.
This has been a dope interview. We in Charlotte, North Carolina, at Charlotte Podcast Studios. I am your host, Adrian Nyce. This is Mouthin Out, and we are out.
Stay fly.